Hi everyone and welcome back to the Lilac House. My name is Crystal and I am so glad you are here. The weather has cooled down, which means one thing: it's slow cooker season. And in today's video I am sharing 5 slow cooker recipes with you today, and they are all soup recipes. Now don't worry, because I do have a Dollar Tree organized with me coming up soon, so make sure you subscribe. Let's get into this video. The first soup I am sharing today is a lightened up creamy chicken noodle soup. I love chicken noodle soup, and I love it when there's a little shazoom added, like dumplings or creaminess. Today we're going for the creamy factor. First, I chopped my carrots, onion, celery, and garlic. Next, I added my chicken to a slow cooker. You can make this easier by adding rotisserie chicken, but I just cooked mine in the slow cooker. Then I added my chopped veggies back to the crock pot. I seasoned it with salt and pepper, added the chicken broth, and turned the slow cooker on to low. When the chicken is cooked, I took it out and shredded it. Then I added the chopped frozen kale and egg noodles. P.S. These are the most delicious egg noodles. We buy them in the freezer section and they actually taste like homemade noodles. I also added back the shredded chicken. Then I made a simple roux. I melted some butter in a saucepan, added some Kodiak cake mix. You could also use regular flour. Stirred until it was all mixed, and then I added coconut milk. I used light coconut milk. You could also use regular milk. And then I stirred until it was blended, and I turned it off when it was thick and bubbly. I added the roux mixture to the slow cooker, then I let it cook for another hour. This soup hit the spot. It was delicious and creamy. Next up is taco soup. This is a classic, delicious recipe. It's pretty much a dump and go recipe, except you do have to cook the meat beforehand. In this recipe, I used ground turkey just to lighten it up a bit. You could totally use ground beef, or you could omit the meat altogether. I cooked my ground turkey in a frying pan with the onion. Once it was cooked, I added 2 cans of beans, the cooked ground turkey, a can of tomatoes, some ranch powder mix, some taco seasoning, and some chicken broth to the slow cooker. I stirred in the corn, turned my crock pot to low, and 6 hours later it was ready to eat. We ate ours topped with some shredded cheese. You could also top it with some Greek yogurt, sour cream, a few chips crumbled on top would be delicious, and some salsa. Next up is a delicious lemon lentil soup. This soup is light, flavorful, and delicious. First, I chopped my veggies, and then I added them to the slow cooker with rinsed and drained red lentils, along with the corn. I added some cumin and curry powder and the veggie broth. I also added a dash of salt and pepper. I started this soup later in the day, so I turned it on high for a few hours. While the soup was cooking, I zested and juiced a lemon. After the veggies and lentils were cooked through, we used an immersion blender to blend it, and when I say we, I mean Robert did it. Then I stirred in the lemon juice and zest. This soup is so yummy, so filling, and I love it for a nice meatless Monday meal. This next soup is so easy and delicious. It is a green chili enchilada soup. It is the soup out of all of these recipes that we make the most because it's so delicious and it truly is a dump and go recipe. In fact, I always like to keep these ingredients on hand so I can start it any day of the week. First, I added my chicken tenderloins to the crock pot. I prefer using chicken tenderloins because they cook faster and I think they taste better. Then I added the cans of green chilies and the green enchilada sauce. Next, I added the chicken broth. Just a friendly reminder that all of these recipes will be in the description box below. Then I added all of my seasonings, some cumin, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And I also added some water. I set the slow cooker to low. After the chicken was cooked through, and about an hour before we wanted to eat it, I shredded the chicken with my handy dandy meat shredder that I got from the Dollar Tree, and then I added some corn and some minute brown rice, and I added a block of cream cheese. I cubed it so it'd be easier to melt. I added the chicken back to the crock pot and then I cooked it for an additional hour until the rice is cooked through and the cream cheese is easy to mix together. This soup is seriously our favorite. We love it so much. We usually top it with salsa, cheese, some chips. We didn't have any on hand, so we ate it as is, and it was so delicious. This next soup is seriously so flavorful and delicious. It was so good. It is pasta e fagioli. I probably pronounced it wrong, but it's delicious no matter how you say it. It does take a few more steps, but it is so good and so worth it. First, I chopped my veggies. I also cooked the ground beef with the onion. Once the ground beef was cooked, I added it to my slow cooker along with some seasonings. This was basil, salt, and pepper, and some crushed fresh garlic. I also added the tomato sauce. I actually forgot to buy tomato sauce, but I had some pizza sauce left over in my fridge, so I used that. It turned out great. I also added a couple cans of diced tomatoes. I mixed everything together. I added 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Next, I added the veggie broth. This soup can be more of a stew, so a lot thicker, but I wanted mine to go a little further, so I added extra veggie broth. A helpful meal planning idea is a lot of these soups take similar veggies. So you could chop a bunch of the veggies and then have a few soups throughout the week added to your meal plan. And just use the chopped veggies you've already chopped. Back to the soup. I let the soup cook on low for 6 hours because the meat was already cooked and we just needed the flavors to mix together and the veggies to cook through. And then about 40 minutes before eating it, I added the small noodles. Once the noodles were cooked through, it was time to eat. This soup was so flavorful, packed full of nutrients, and it was so delicious. It warmed us right up on a chilly fall day. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave in the comments below which recipe you want to try out, or leave your favorite slow cooker recipe. I hope you remember that you are amazing and you are loved, and I will see you next time on the Lilac House. Bye.